What it all means to you as customers is a stable tip fee. In the pre-Enron days, when the new management team started here, we inherited a $63.75 tip fee. A very significant increase in that first year got us to about the level we're at today. Well, I think I venture to guess there's very few things in your municipal budget that have a flat profile as your garbage disposal fee over the past 10 years. In November of this year, we will be dropping to a base fee of $62.50. For those of you with Tier 1 agreements with CRRA, 5-year, that will be a $62.50 price. For those with a long-term agreement, that would be a $60.50 price. Pretty significant drop. Now, there are some very significant challenges we have to deal with due to our power price. Most of you, I think, are aware of the very remarkably poor results of our recent auction for power. At the end of the contracts, where the bonds were paid off, the MSAs expired, the operating contracts with our NBC and Covanta expired, all those points in time coincident with the end of the project, we also had the end of our power contract. What it means to the project is very, very significant. The revenue associated with 8-cent power is $33 million a year, or $46 per ton of garbage. That's based on a 712,000 ton per year power plant. Smaller number than we've historically done, but there's a technical reason for that. We'll get into that a bit later. The price we did get and signed up for 1 year, the minimum amount we could sign up for, is 3.5 cents per kilowatt hour. The annual revenue is $14.5 million, or $20 a ton. A $26 per ton impact to our customers. Very significant. $18 million translates to $26 a ton when spread over 712,000 tons. Now you may ask, why 712,000 tons? Why not 840 like we've historically done? Well, the reason is simple. We anticipated that after the project concluded, there would be a handful of towns that, because of a different market, might be inclined to go elsewhere with their garbage. New towns may be coming in, but other towns may exit, and that's exactly what we found. In fact, jump ahead to that if I can. The towns in brown here elected to go someplace else with their garbage. Enfield, very simply, I mean, they're going north into Massachusetts, makes perfect sense. The Massachusetts towns that utilize the Agawam facility are paying $82 a ton to get rid of their garbage. But surprisingly, Enfield's going up there for $60. Must be great to be West Springfield paying $20 more than an out-of-stater. But that's the reality of the garbage business. Other towns are in the process of making decisions to move to other providers. It makes perfect sense. Many of these facilities that will be serving these towns are transfer stations at Willimantic. Some of their waste will likely be going to privately owned facilities in Lisbon or out of state. I will note that that there is statutory language that requires DEP to approve of all municipal contracts for waste disposal, and I expect that they will be very focused on ensuring that the garbage generated in all the towns that have contracts are disposed of appropriate to the solid waste management plan, which basically means you got to follow the hierarchy. You got to reduce, reuse, recycle, and recover. And that does not mean you can put it in the landfill if there is waste-to-energy facility space available. So I'd encourage you, if you haven't done so, you will need to have your contracts sent to the DEP for approval. If you're signing up with CRA or intend to, we'll take care of that for you. We'll box them all up and send them to the DEP and have those approved. But if you're intending to work with other providers, if that works best, or you judge that that works best for your town, do keep in mind that the DEP will examine those and approve those contracts for compliance with the solid waste management plan. Okay, back to our problem with the power. In a revenue shortfall situation, and it's very significant with this new power price, if we don't fix that, essentially the facility becomes economically non-viable. We've lost $16 to $18 million of revenue for the next year. If that price holds, and I do expect it to recover somewhat, but not to the point where we need it to recover, we will be in a situation where the plant is potentially non-viable. We have MSAs, those will still be honored. They are net cost MSAs, and the opt-outs apply, meaning that if you could find a better deal and we're charging more than that opt-out number, you are unilaterally able to rip up that contract and go someplace else. All of that, of course, still applies. But in the absence of a revenue fix, and there's a couple different ways we can do that, we will be unable to continue to operate the plant. We literally won't be able to pay the bills with so little coming in from power. However, there are many of our customer towns that don't have options as convenient as, say, Enfield, which can drive over the border to Massachusetts. And for those towns, we will certainly provide what we call diversion through a transfer and haul operation or some other disposal mechanism, typically located at our South Meadows facility. What I'm really saying is we will convert the plant into a transfer and haul operation, an intermodal transfer facility that will allow us to load up garbage, probably bale it, and send it to regional disposal facilities, which will, of course, be in other states. Downside to that is it makes us subject to the welcome of the other states. Will they continue to take it? Right now, they have no choice. The Commerce Clause prohibits them from keeping it out. But the cost of that disposal and the cost of getting it there, which is tied to diesel prices, whether you go by truck or by train, the cost of transportation is tied to the price of diesel right now. But the disposal opportunity and capability will be there, regardless of what happens. There are many disposal options, many more than there were 20 years ago, available to us. But if you're a day's drive away, trucking makes sense. If it's more than a day's drive away, rail starts to look a little bit better. We will likely, we will continue our investigation. We've done quite a bit of work on this in past years, but I expect that we will have both options available to us in the event we go to a transfer and haul scenario. You can see from the chart here, there are many, these blue dots are regional landfills that take significant portions, more than 250,000 tons a year of out-of-state waste. These are all truck accessible. These outer edges are probably better for rail access, but nonetheless, the options are there. The market it's a buyer's market. The biggest concern we would have is the price of diesel moving forward, because it is an absolutely, it's a marginal cost business. It's the disposal fees will be as low as $15 to $20 per ton, but it will be $40 to $60 a ton to get it out there. Our recommended way of fixing the revenue problem is legislatively through 5118. This would provide, and many of you are familiar with it already, this would provide a reclassification of the energy generated in the facility as a renewable, Class 1 renewable power source. It would ensure the economic viability of the plant moving forward, because Class 1 renewable power can be sold for a lot more money than Class 2 renewable power, which is what we are right now.